Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday the 12th and Friday the 13th. Did you hear that? Not the beep. Friday the 13th, 2019. Hope you're having a good trading week. As usual, we don't typically post a market preview for Fridays, and this will be no different, I'm sure. Hasn't been that exciting of a week. We've been kind of in a drift mode. Volume's been back up, but the action's been slow and contained, even though we've had some nice winners. There's nothing to complain about for this week, but you'd just like to see more action in the market. Too many stocks sitting around doing nothing most of the day and not giving us clean setups. So keep in mind a couple things. We are heading into futures contract roll. So this is September, right? So Thursday going into Friday, we're going to move to the December, which will be the Z19 contracts for futures. And obviously when we go through the futures contract roll, as you know, and we teach this all the time in our courses, so Thursday they'll stop slowly using the futures from September, and Friday they'll start picking them up. And the reality is the big traders will mostly stay on the sidelines, and that usually will slow things up. That's coming off of 9/11, and we still have a week to options expiration, which will be a triple expiration. But we are rolling the futures contracts Thursday night going into Friday. And that always has an impact on the market. It's something that happens 4 days a year, and it usually slows things down, which is hard to believe because we've already been plenty slow. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market futures form. So we've drifted back up near the risk line, near the all-time highs. We have a new 9-bar startup phase to the upside, and we have the new red static trend line, but we've never broken the risk line from the 13 sell signal. Let's look at the major daily charts, then we'll go from there. Crude oil up 42 cents to 56.17. Gold down $3.60, but still hanging near the highs. So the S&P was up 21.54. The Nasdaq 100 up 72.84. SOX up 23.04. And this is finally getting near the highs. The biotech up 55.3. But that puts it still basically down for most of the year. The Russell 2000 up 32.75, and it's been in a very horrible range, about 150 points for the whole year, which is not great on that index. And the Russell 2000 usually leads. Meanwhile, the VIX closes at 14.61. It's the lowest close since July, and that's interesting. We'll see what happens. We've had 213 buy signals on the VIX this year, and both of them led to higher prices and the market declining. So we don't have those right now, but we're still operating under one, technically speaking. This is the other thing that's interesting, and this is kind of scary. The trend closes at 0.79. That keeps the 10-day moving average at 0.80. Remember, anything under 0.85 on the 10-day moving average is a broad market sell signal. We got it a couple of days ago. Totally out of the blue, considering it was up over 1 all summer long mostly, and especially higher in the last month. So this happened pretty quickly, and it is a broad market sell signal. So we'll see what happens there. Nasdaq volume 2.3 billion shares. The advanced decline ratio on the Nasdaq plus 1512. So way more stocks up than down. It's actually one of the best of the year, to be honest. Advanced decline ratio on the New York only plus 1127, which is not one of the best of the year. Google gains $14.30. And is what it is there. Apple up $6.89. They just had their new phone announcement the other day. Netflix up 28 cents, which is a blip. Look at that 13 buy signal and the risk line holding Netflix in place. Amazon up $2.44. Tesla up $11.56. Facebook gains $2.32. Goldman Sachs up $1.17. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down 25 cents, and we will go from there. All right, so in terms of the intraday action on Wednesday, basically opened flat, popped up a bit, and it was a drift higher all day long. It was flat at certain points. We ran into some resistance about an hour in, took another hour and a half heading into lunch before we broke above that. Then we were flat for 3 or 4 hours, and then the last 20 minutes or so, we tried to make new highs. Nasdaq side, not much different. We basically shot up in the first hour, no gap left behind. And, look at that. We spent the last 4 hours, 5 hours pretty flat, even though the last 2 candles tried to take out those highs. But it was an okay day. We had a good win on Facebook. We had a good win on some other stuff. It is what it is. So, again, contract roll is the main thing to focus on, but I will tell you that Thursday morning, an hour before the bell, we have the CPI and the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. Then the natty gas number at 10:30 and the federal budget balance at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. On Friday, we've got retail sales now before the bell, along with import-export prices. 7 a.m., so 10 a.m. Eastern Time, preliminary University of Michigan sentiment and business inventories, and that'll wrap up the week. Again, get ready to switch everything to the Z19 contracts Thursday night, and we will go from there. Church, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.